Secretary of State Marco Rubio says that US is going to achieve its objectives in weeks, saying that Iran currently, as of now, is at its weakest point. So as far as this is something that the United States has been mentioning for quite some time, as far as its Operation Epic Fury is concerned and the objectives, till now, militarily at least, as the US sees, largely has been achieved. When it comes to the Iranian forces, that has been degraded, the Navy has been destroyed, and as far as when it comes to the places where there are launchers, missile launchers, where they have been saying that 90% of those areas have been struck and have been also destroyed. So Marco Rubio has now been claiming that as far as this war is concerned, because Iran still does not pose to be a direct threat to the United States of America, but Iran now in the near future having any nuclear weapon or to be armed with nuclear weapons now, US believes is a remote possibility. Well, largely the objectives has been achieved. That is what US Secretary of State says. However, if the US has any exit plan, then when will it come to be in focus? Because that still remains an issue as far as already over a month, approximately 32nd day is what we are now looking at as far as this conflict is concerned, and both sides are not willing to back down. We are looking at escalation on a different level that has taken place, but when it comes to the objectives that are concerned, whether it be on part of the US, whether it be on part of Israel, seem to be completely different, because Israel says there shouldn't be any backing down at all. And as far as when it comes to the entry of the Houthis, which is said to be another Iranian proxy that has now entered the war front, well, Israel has been fighting this war on multiple fronts already. Let's connect with Srinjoy on this. Srinjoy, good morning. Multiple angles there. Another statement by President Trump. He says open the Strait of Hormuz or else, because he is now not ruling out the possibility at hitting at the Iranian oil and energy infrastructure.
He's already spoken about the Strait of Hormuz. He's spoken about Kharg Island. It's widely believed that if the Iranians do not open the Strait of Hormuz, the Americans will hit Kharg Island. Not just Kharg Island, but they could launch an amphibious operation or an airborne operation or some military strike on Kharg Island. Now that's been talked about a lot, because Kharg Island basically is the avenue for Iranian oil exports. And if the Kharg Island is taken over by the Americans, it would pinch the Iranians, is what America believes. Now, there are Revolutionary Guard encampments in Kharg Island which have been heavily bombed by America. But there are also oil tanks there, pipelines there, which America so far has not touched, because this alone would hurt. Bombing these oil tanks and pipelines would again hit oil prices, which would again shoot up. That is not something in America's interests. So as a result, America has many options now, it believes. Number one, Kharg Island.
Yes.
Second, the other option is to do an operation inside the Iranian mainland, whether it's Isfahan or Natanz, and recover the 450-60 kilos of enriched uranium, 60% enriched uranium. But that is under tons of rubble. Now, to get it out will not be easy. It will be a difficult operation. The third, of course, is to have a bridgehead.
Yes.
A bridgehead on the coast, Iranian coast, so that the ships can go more easily.
Yes.
Now, if you need to have a bridgehead along the Iranian coast to keep the Strait of Hormuz open, that's an option.
Yes.
But it could be an expensive option.
Well,
So
will that option be taken up by the US forces? Because, Marco Rubio believes that they have wiped out when it comes to the defense industrial base is concerned, meaning Iran's ability to make new missiles and new drones in the future, because it poses a great threat to the region, and saying that this Iran that you see now is the same Iran which is now at its weakest point. Well, that seems to be the claim that has been made on part of the United States of America. But as far as these joint strikes are also concerned, let's put that